Warning: A Clockwork Orange is a film filled with violence, blood, murder, and sexual content. Some viewers may find this film extremely disturbing. Please keep this warning in mind as you continue through the video. Now that we've got the warnings out of the way, let's listen to some singing in the rain over a collage of carnage.
Singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling, I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds dark up above. The sun's in my heart and I'm ready for love. Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. Come on with the rain, I've a smile on my face. I'll walk down the lane with a happy refrain, just singing, singing in the rain. Dancing in the rain. I'm happy again.
Directed by Stanley Kubrick, A Clockwork Orange stars a young Malcolm McDowell as Alex, a psychopath who gets his fun from a night of ultra-violence. To me, this film is beautiful and well written, not to mention how good the narration from Malcolm McDowell is.
One thing I could never stand was to see a filthy, dirty old drunkie howling away at the filthy songs of his fathers and going blurp blurp in between, as it might be a filthy old orchestra in his stinking rotten guts.
I chose this film because it's well known for being both hated and loved for all the lines it crosses.
Crowning with thorns. I could pity myself helping in and even taking charge of it.
The film is based in a 1970s British dystopia that is so eerily similar to the homes of the British viewers that it downright struck fear into their hearts.
It still is possibly the most controversial movie ever made. When the film came out in Britain, there was a moral panic saying the film was utterly unacceptable. Not so much sex in the movies, not so much violence, but bringing them together.
This dystopian crime film has both dark and grimy feel into some scenes, and bright and beautiful ones into others. It shakes your emotion during the viewing. The effect that this film had on people was so powerful that it influenced crimes, riots, and even had Stanley Kubrick flee the country with his family out of fear of his own life.
When they have their moral panics over there, they go big, and they're willing to chew through whatever filmmaker they've got in front of them.
The theme of good versus evil is extremely prominent in this film. From the first scene of the old man singing his sorrows away,
as she wheeled her wheel narrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels.
all the way to the ending of Alex in his hospital bed being praised as a hero, when really he's back to the evil person he was. Alex is someone who loves to manipulate his victims. When he attacks people in their houses, he likes to pretend his friend was in a car accident so that person would let them in to call for help.
Yes? Who is it?
Excuse me, missus, can you please help? There's been a terrible accident. My friend's in the middle of the road, bleeding to death. Can I please use your telephone for an ambulance?
I'm sorry, but we don't have a telephone. You'll have to go somewhere else.
But, missus, it's a matter of life and death.
Who is it, dear?
There's a young man here. He says there's been an accident. He wants to use the telephone.
Well, I suppose you better let him in.
Well, wait a minute, will you? I'm sorry, but we don't usually let strangers in the middle.
Alex even manipulates the warden of the jail to move him into the experiment to rehabilitate him so he can get out in just under a year. Violence is a major theme throughout this film. I mean, the film's best known for it. It's violence made to scare you, yes, but it's also violence made to open your eyes. The teenagers are violent. The cops are violent. The jail wardens are violent. Even the doctors are violent. There's violence everywhere. For the next segment, I feel a secondary warning is needed because we are now talking about my top 3 most painful and powerful scenes. So please, if you're afraid that the next scene might offend or scare you, don't be afraid to turn off the screen.
Stop it, please, I beg you! It's a sin!
Scene 1, Rehabilitation. This scene depicts Alex during one of his several hour-long rehabilitation sessions. Alex will be strapped to his chair and forced to watch clips of violent and sexual acts without the ability to blink. The effects of this causes Alex to feel extremely sick whenever he would think of thoughts of pain, violence, or sex. It even gives him an extreme amount of sickness and pain when he attempts to enjoy his classical music. It's even used later to drive him to a suicide attempt.
Suddenly I did what I had to do, and what I had wanted to do. And that was to do myself in, to snuff it, to blast off forever out of this wicked, cruel world. One moment of pain, perhaps, and then sleep. Forever and ever and ever.
Scene 2, Death by Penis Statue. Okay, I know what you're thinking. How could this be a powerful scene in any way? It's just disgusting and degrading. Well, that, my friend, is in the editing. The quick cuts and camera movements, mixed with the music, makes this horrible scene feel like a dance around the room. Although it is Alex moving from his traditional debauchery and disgustingness into a full-fledged murderer, it still has beauty to it. It still has power. You can even see the last of his innocence escape his body. As he's scared, he just took a life. Finally, Singing in the Rain. You didn't think I played Singing in the Rain earlier for fun, did you? No, sorry. This film ruins the song for you. Probably the most well-known scene in the entire film, Alex and his gang of droogs enter a house forcefully, then take the woman and man hostage, raping the woman as their husband is forced to watch. It's a horrifying scene, while Alex sings Singing in the Rain the entire time, scaring the audience and forever putting a red stain on this song.
What a glorious feeling. I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above. Sun's in my heart, and I'm ready for love. Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. I'm with the rain. I've a smile on my face. I'll walk down the lane with a happy.
And although this is just a horrifying act and a horrifying scene, you can't help but think of the complexity of the scene. A beautiful song destroyed by a horrible act. Thank you for your time in watching this. If you haven't already seen Clockwork Orange, you should give it one viewing. That way you can figure out what side you're on. Whether or not you're a fan who believes the beauty outdoes the carnage, or you believe that the carnage is too much and shouldn't be shown. All I ask is give it a try. Every film deserves one try.
And I feel that any second something terrible is going to happen to me.